Hello YouTube, today I'm doing HackTheBox Academy machine. HackTheBox Academy machine is considered as easy to medium machine. So let's first get started, see what are the concepts learned in this machine, and then we will dive to the walkthrough. So basically, let me show my tool here. Okay, so in this machine, first, we're gonna do the reconnaissance. We will use Nmap to reveal the services and the open ports, and then we will proceed directly to the web application exploitation. So basically, in the web server, we will manipulate the hidden fields. Okay, there are hidden fields there. We will manipulate them to gain admin access. After gaining admin access, we will be able to exploit a vulnerability in Laravel. The exploitation here can be done two ways: a manual using an available exploit in GitHub, or using Metasploit. After exploiting the Laravel, we will gain the shell access, the first shell. So the privilege escalation. The privilege escalation starts with finding stored plain credentials. These plain credentials are found in the root directory of the web server. And then we will use the credentials to build a word list and find the right credentials for the current users on the system. And after finding the credentials, okay, we will just do horizontal privilege escalation and abuse the Linux binary. The Linux binary is called composer. So from that, we will gain the root access. Okay. So let's get started. So first we have the Nmap scan. As we explained, we have two ports, 22 and HTTP. And as demonstrated, we will exploit the web server directly. So firing out the browser, we head to Academy HTTP. Of course, don't forget to add the name to the host file. So the exploitation is conducted on the registration process. Why? So when you click on the register, view the page source, if you go down, you see hidden field. A hidden field. The hidden field is the name is role ID and the value is 0. And as you can see, it's hidden by inspecting the type. Type is equal to hidden. Now, it's self-explanatory that this field is used to control the user role on the site, whether be it a user, but be it an admin. So from the name here, it's role ID. And as you can see, it's 0. Normally, admin users have the 0 ID, right? But in this case, it's the opposite. So if you change the 0 to 1, you will be able to gain admin access. But how are you going to do that? So we have two ways. We either remove the type hidden, so the field now will be shown here, or the next way, or the other way, is to use Burp Suite, which is the preferred way, since you can get yourself familiar with the tool, and systematically, Burp Suite is used more in exploiting these kind of misconfigurations. So firing up Burp Suite, and here we have set is on, turning it back. Let's register first. So once we click register, we will assume that Burp Suite will be able to capture the request, and from that point on, we will change the role ID to 1, the hidden field, and right after that, my username or my account will be elevated to an admin account. Let's see that in action. So register, save, okay. So here's the request. As you can see, this is the hidden field captured by Burp. So Burp now enables us to change this. So by changing this to 1, and you click forward, okay. All right, so now we are logged in. So if we log in now with the same credentials we used during the registration, So we're logged in, but actually our purpose is to find the admin page. So by replacing home.php with something that's common sense, admin.php, see if you can access the page. Okay, requires us to log in. Fine. And as you can see, we have got access to the admin page. So simple as that, we accomplished the first milestone, which is exploiting the or manipulating the hidden fields, the hidden HTML fields. Now, as you can see here, we have some stuff, progress milestone for the admin to accomplish, and we have something pending here. Fix issue with dev staging 01 academy.h2b, which seems that we have to add this name to the host file. So let's copy that. Okay. Now let's try to view this page. Okay, so by viewing this page, we see first the stream or file HTML Academy storage logs Laravel couldn't be opened in append mode, failed to open stream. Now, one takeaway from this is that this domain or this subdomain actually is using Laravel application. So there is another instance running on the web server. The instance is Laravel instance. And by inspecting the environment and details here, we see here we have many details about the application, the database, the Laravel framework, and we have stored credentials or database credentials. As you can see, we have database name, database username, and database password. Now, normally, these kind of information are not to be viewed by a regular user, right? Which the machine actually doesn't let you to view these credentials when you are a user. These credentials or this view is only admin view. So it's pretty common to see these kind of things if you are an admin. But the key takeaway here, as I said earlier, is using Laravel. And we have to find out what's the version of this Laravel application. So here, application name is Laravel, application key, which we will use later. Okay, so let's first use the first way. So we use Metasploit. And in Metasploit, we search for Laravel to find the available exploits and what are the requirements to go with these exploits. Okay, while this is being done, you can also search for an available exploit for Laravel. Advanced. Actually, we don't need Burp Suite anymore, but anyway, let's accept the risk. Right, Laravel. So search for Laravel CVE, GitHub. So as you can see, we have many CVEs. One in 2021, and we have something. That's why it's very imperative to find the version. Let's jump back to Metasploit, still running. Okay. So search for Laravel And we have only one module, which is an exploit module. Exploit Unix HTTP Laravel token unserialize execute. Now, PHP framework token unserialize remote command execution. So obviously we can type info to get more information about this exploit. So it's saying here that this module exploits a vulnerability in the PHP Laravel framework for versions 5540, 556X. Remote command execution is possible via a correctly formatted HTTP XSR token header due to an insecure unserialized call of the decrypt method in Illuminati encryption encryptor. Authentication is not required. However, exploitation requires knowledge of the Laravel application key, which we have. Similar vulnerabilities appear to exist within Laravel cookies tokens based on the code fix. So this is CVE 2018, 2017. So most probably, if you want to use the manual method, you will stick with this one. This is a manual exploit if you don't want to use Metasploit. So this is here the exploit, the code exploit for CVE 2018, and it is based on Cosmos POC and Metasploit's exploit for this vulnerability. So it's your choice. So basically, let's stick with the path with shortest time. So let's stick with Metasploit and use this exploit. Okay, use show options. So what's required? lhost, okay, target URL. All right, so we have also expect to see the app key. So the application key is also required. Anything else? All right. Also here, don't forget to use the vhost. The vhost is here is the another domain, this one. Don't forget to supply this. Okay. So set app key. Let's see where is the app key. So base 64, start from here. Okay, set our host 10, 10, 10, 215, set vhost. The virtual host is this domain. Okay, set lhost. So this is me, 10, 10, 14, 5. 10, 10, 14, 5. Set lport. Let's try with 4545. And all set. So now just type exploit and we should receive the first shell. So fast enough, we received the first command shell. ID. So we are now dub data. Right, fine. Let's now import Python 3-c import pty /bin /bash What's that? So what we forgot to add here is we forgot to add the code here. Okay. Okay, so now we have a regular shell. So if you want, let's go back to the manual exploit, see what's required to perform this. As you can see, the usage is type the name of the exploit and then -c, which stands for the command, -m 1234-i URL API key. So based on the example in the screenshots, the command is the command that will be performed against the host. In this case, it's displaying the current working directory. Of course, we can convert this to a reverse shell. Actually, I'm keen to try it, so let me try it. Let's split the tab to okay. And let's see the exploit Laravel. So this is the exploit. Let's go back, see if we have something to install. Okay, install the requirements. Okay. So clear, no, here. On. Okay, so the options are, first we have to feed or define the API key -i URL and API key. Okay, so the URL is this one. And then we have the API key is supplied with, okay, without options, so just supply the API key. And finally supply your command. Let's try with pwd first. And indeed it worked. So this is the working directory bar of the Laravel framework. So I can convert this to something like ID, let's say, for example. So it worked. So all you have to do is to change the command here. Put something like reverse bash reverse shell, create another listener, and then you will have another shell. So let's now go back with Metasploit and see the privilege escalation process. So we are under the public directory. And as I mentioned in earlier, is that there are stored credentials. The stored credentials can be found most of the time. The stored credentials of the web server can be found at the root directory of the web, at the root, yes, the root directory of the web server. So in this case, it's in the HTML. If we type ls-la app academy, HTTP academy -1 for the Laravel, and we have index. Obviously, this directory is owned by root, as you can see, and I don't think we can cd to that directory. So this one owned by data, we can cd to that directory easily. ls-la. See what we have here. So most of the time, the credentials are found somewhere here. Config database composer. So environment, if you get the environment file, let's see here. So DB username and DB password, and these are the MySQL credentials. So you can go ahead and log into MySQL, but it will not be helpful because you have just gained your first shell, right? And by logging in to the database, you have nothing to do there other than just enumerating the users, enumerating the hashes, and using them for further attacks. But since you have gained the first foothold, okay, MySQL cannot be used other than just more enumeration. So dev and my super password. So since these are the credentials for the dev user, why not thinking of you reusing the credentials for with other users on the system? So we can just copy that and see what other users we have here by cat etc pass through d. See, we have here 1 goblin ch4p, another one, and we have also 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 users, 6 with the root. So what we can do here, we can start the brute force process. So view, split the view, and here we can create sudo nano word list or password. No, users. Okay, users.txt. So the first user is goblin. Second one is ch4p 21y4d cry. I prefer to copy that. And mr v3n. Of course, don't forget the root. So what we will do with this word list, we will conduct a brute force attack and we define the SSH server as the target. Our objective is to find the password, to find if this password that we have just uncovered is used with one of these users. So we can start and type hydra-l users.txt-p. The password is so this is the password. No, why did you do this? Don't know what's happening. This is very weird. I'm just typing space and it's pasting other values. Let me type this from scratch. -l users-p. Well, come on. Okay, leave this for till the last. Okay, so I have the IP 10.10.10.2.1.5. And let's use more threads. And the target is SSH. So finally, I will define the password here. Okay. Okay, I can see what's happening. Okay, so I will just put the password in a password file. And here we will just go back to the command. -p password. Okay. Let's see here. So as you can see, we have one hit. All right, let's log in now. So sh, this is the username we have just cracked, at 10 10 10 215. Of course, don't forget to copy the password. Yes, password. And successfully we are logged in. So we have conducted now the horizontal privilege escalation. Now last step is to conduct the last step of the privilege escalation, which is moving to the root user. So sudo -l. So obviously we cannot run sudo. Sorry, user may not run sudo on Academy. So you have to find other ways. So obviously we can use the same approach to move from that user to another user on the machine. Okay, so if we go to var audit log, our aim is to find cannot cd to cd var cd audit. Oh, cd var cd log, and then we have the audit. So the audit files are here. So basically, looking through the log files is another way of finding stored credentials, because the log files log your attempts, log your actions on the system. So if there is plain text credentials that have been captured, most of the time you would find it here in the log files, specifically in the audit. But of course you have to use command filtering to filter the things you're looking for, because normally these files are huge and it's a waste of time looking through these files line by line. So we're looking here to find password, right? So we can just, for example, if we cd to audit ls, so we have audit log 1, 2, 3, have 4 audit log files. So of course we're not going to waste our time looking through these files. We're going to use grep to see if we can find something. So grep -r. Let's first look for password. Nothing. Okay. -r com. Go ahead. Say. Oh, I think we have made a mistake. So com equal. Say here password. Yep. Okay. Try with grep -r. Okay, see if we can find any attempt, any logged attempt with the sudo keyword. Okay, grep -r. Try with su. Normally, this when you use these commands, you supply your password, right? So that's why we're looking with these keywords. Okay, there is one. So audit log 3 in this log file we have tty. This is the message audit log ID, and here we have the PID of the process audit su data. So this seems to be a hex value. So this hex value can be decoded with XSD. So echo XSD dash B dash. So this is the plain text of the hex value. Now we can take that and again brute force. So here let's change on the pass file. This time remove this one. Okay, so hydra-l users-p passwords and 10.10.10.215-t4. Same way. Let's see if this the discovered string here is a password of one of the users. So indeed it is mrb3n. So sh mrb3n at 10.10.10.215. Okay. Okay, ID, and then we have mrb3n. So sudo -l. So we can do sudo with this user. It means we can easily move on from this user or escalate to the root user. So this is done obviously by abusing this binary. So user bin composer. Let's see here. GTFO bins. Composer. We're looking to abuse this sudo function. So if the binary is allowed to run as superuser by sudo, it does not drop the elevated privileges and may be used to access the file system, escalate, or maintain privileged access. So let's copy these commands one by one. Okay, ID, and okay, so we are root now. Let's grab the root flag. Cat root. All right, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed that and see you in the next video.